The long-awaited spells of rain have given relief to the people of Delhi from the heat wave, but added to their woes in different ways. Heavy downpours have affected several areas of Delhi. The rain also caused traffic congestion and waterlogging in the city. Commuters in many places faced inconvenience due to waterlogged streets. 8 people in the national capital lost or were injured, in fact, as far as this deluge were concerned. I'm told, all right, 8 people have lost their lives in this deluge. Not just the Aam Aadmi Party, but even mantris and MPs faced the brunt of rain, as even their posh bungalows in the prime areas of Delhi faced waterlogging. However, there's nobody ready to take onus of this civic apathy, and the blame game is on. Listen into the war of words.
जिस प्रकार से दिल्ली में पूरी अव्यवस्था छाई हुई है, आप किसी भी इलाके में चले जाओ, इस प्रकार का जल भराव आपको दिखेगा, और यही आम आदमी पार्टी की असली व्यवस्था है। विज्ञापन पर पूरा जोर है, व्यवस्था कमजोर है।
हमने लगातार इस सरकार को चेताने की कोशिश की है। चीफ सेक्रेटरी को बाकायदा 12 जून को हमने चिट्ठी लिखी कि बारिश आने वाली है, नालों की सफाई नहीं हुई है, नालों की सफाई की जानी चाहिए ताकि डिस्पोजल ऑफ वाटर जो है, रेन वाटर पूरी तरीके से ड्रेन हो जाए। लेकिन लगातार नज़रअंदाज करते हुए ये जो सरकार, दोनों केंद्र की और दिल्ली की सरकार है, वो एक दूसरे के पाले में गेंद फेंकते रहे हैं, और मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि अभी भी जो इनकी मीटिंग हुई है उसमें भी वो एक दूसरे के ऊपर लांछन डालने के सिवा और कोई काम नहीं करने वाले हैं।
इससे पीछे जो जानकार कह रहे हैं कि 1936 में 235 mm जून के महीने में बारिश हुआ था। आज सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट बारिश हुआ है 228 mm 1936 के बाद जून के महीने में। तो आप सोच सकते हैं कि जो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होता है वो डिजाइन नहीं होता है इतनी ज्यादा बारिश को हैंडल करने के लिए।
And a canopy collapse at Terminal 1 of Delhi Airport resulted in 1 death and 8 injuries, with several cars enshrouded in the debris. If you can please pick up those visuals, if you can show the visuals of what happened at the Delhi airport. Those are the pictures of the Union Civil Aviation Minister in front of the collapsed canopy. And in fact, in the aftermath of the Delhi airport roof collapse, opposition is now targeting the centre, calling it proof of the collapsing infrastructure under the Modi government. Civil Aviation Minister has assured a thorough probe in this matter and says the canopy that collapsed today was actually built in 2009 under the UPA government.
The investigation is on. We have ordered the investigation. We are going to bring in the experts in the industry, technical industry, and we are going to do a thorough investigation, and whoever is responsible for it, and this government is committed to take action on them. So that much is very, very clear. But in incidents like these, if they pick up these kind of incidents and try to politicize these and use it for their political game and all, I don't think it's a very good precedent to build on.
सवाल इतना ही है कि ये बिल्डिंग 15 साल पहले बनी और लार्सन एंड टूब्रो जैसी एक मशहूर कंपनी जो विश्व में कई एयरपोर्ट और कई बड़ी सरकारी और तो इसमें अगर कोई कमी है या कोई किसी की गलती है तो उसकी पूरी जांच होनी चाहिए, उसके ऊपर कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए। लेकिन अब इसमें पॉलिटिक्स करने का, राजनीति करने का क्या मतलब है?
And earlier this evening, Civil Aviation Minister Rama Naidu convened a high-level review meeting with top officials, including the Secretary of Civil Aviation. Many key decisions were taken in the meeting, including the establishment of a 24/7 war room in each of those terminals under the close monitoring under the Union Ministry. This war room is to ensure full refund of cancelled flights or provide alternative travel routes as tickets. And as per availability of tickets, I beg your pardon, all refunds will be processed within a stipulated time of 7 days as well. That's the latest update coming in on the story.
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
All right, let's quickly begin with this story at the moment. Let's begin with what's happened in the national capital first. And let me start with Dr. Akashdeep Muni. Dr. Akashdeep Muni, you've seen what the LGA said, that various important meetings where the Chief Minister was supposed to attend, they were not held. Desilting as a process could not be taking place ahead of the monsoon as should normally be happening. You know, a lot of questions coming in as to what has the state government really done. Monsoon is not something that we do not know will happen. It may have come a few days in advance, but certainly there could have been adequate preparation because a few hours of rain appear to have submerged the entire national capital.
No, definitely, Madhav. I totally agree with you that the preparation could have been better. But one thing I want to put in front of you that the total magnitude of rain that Delhi experiences in monsoon is 800 millimeter, and today Delhi experienced 1/4 of it. That is 25% of it, 228 millimeter of rainfall. Total monsoons 25% in one day is a huge magnitude. That is why there may be waterlogging, but however, the Delhi government is committed for it to clear the waste. They have constructed control rooms of PWD, MCD, and ours, and they have also conducted quick response teams. But today, I want to bring to in front of you, Madhav, the most important issue. Today, a person lost his life at Delhi airport. You know, in the view of election, the Honorable Prime Minister inaugurated a number of projects. Atal Setu, where cracks arose. It was inaugurated in January 2024. Jabalpur Airport fell down just 2 days ago.
Today, no, we'll come to the airport. We'll come to the airport. First, let's get Delhi sorted because I want Viblendu to come in on this. Viblendu, where has this Delhi government failed? Because as citizens, it doesn't matter if the central government, state government, BJP, Congress, AAP. They've failed the citizens of the national capital at the end of the day. And here you have Netas who are bickering, whether it's the airport or Delhi, whether it's the center or the state, who's responsible? As citizens, isn't this a complete failure of our Netas?
Absolutely. So no doubt, as in Jabalpur Airport and Delhi Airport and other airports and other highways need to be, and several bridges that have collapsed, all of that needs to be examined. But right now the conversation is very, very specific to Delhi and Delhi's sewage plan or a drainage plan. And that has completely failed. And to hide behind an erratic climate event called 20% of overall rainfall, that's real dishonesty. I think, it would be really, really good on the part of the political speaker, the representative of Aam Aadmi Party, or leaning towards Aam Aadmi Party speaker to accept that they haven't done their duty. Just 2 days ago, Delhi Water Minister was actually on a fast, on an indefinite fast, asking for more water. And imagine just in 2 days we actually have a lot of water. Therefore, there is a governance deficit completely. This government, or for that matter, most governments have actually completely failed in understanding that climate change is not a theoretical, philosophical question. It's a reality, and it's been a reality for the last 10 years. We've had several erratic climate events and extreme flash rain. And therefore, as government, as elected governments of this century, of this decade, they are supposed to be reacting and be more prepared. What's the preparation? If your drainage is not silted, if there's haphazard urbanization that has taken place, imagine, as last year we were actually flooded, last week we were actually thirsty, and this week we are completely in puddle of water, almost it's as if it's a city of lakes. Absolutely. And therefore it is the governance. You cannot one day blame Haryana and the other day blame Indradev and God.
संजीव कौशिक, जवाब दीजिए. आप एक दिन हरियाणा पे ब्लेम करेंगे, एक दिन हिमाचल पे ब्लेम करेंगे, लेकिन खुद क्या गवर्नेंस कर रहे हैं दिल्ली में? कौन सा सुएज का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाया गया पिछले 10 साल में, हमें बताइए.
देखिए माधव, ये कहने में हमें कोई गुरेज नहीं है कि ग्लोबल वार्मिंग और प्राकृतिक आपदा की बात की यदि हम करें तो बगैर केंद्र सरकार के बीच में हस्तक्षेप किए हुए इसमें कुछ नहीं होने वाला है. एक दिन में हम ऐसा इसलिए भी कह रहे हैं
राज्य सरकार कुछ नहीं कर सकती
पूरे मानसून का
तो इसमें नहीं, एक सेकंड संजीव कौशिक, केंद्र सरकार से मैं सवाल जरूर पूछूंगा संजू वर्मा से. राज्य सरकार क्या कर रही है सर? कौन सा प्रस्ताव गया है? क्या कहा है आपने दिल्ली की इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को कैसे चेंज करना है?
यदि 24 घंटे के अंदर पूरे मानसून का 25% बारिश यदि एक दिन में हो जाए तो निश्चित तौर पे इसमें सरकार कुछ नहीं कर पाएगी. कहने में कोई गुरेज नहीं है. लाख व्यवस्थाएं कर ले, लाख व्यवस्था केंद्र सरकार कर ले. क्या कर लेगी केंद्र सरकार?
सर कैसा आर्ग्यूमेंट है सर? अगर गवर्नेंस में आपदा की कोई प्रावधान नहीं की जाती है, ये अगर आपदा की कोई प्रावधान नहीं है, कोई प्लानिंग नहीं है, बिग क्लाइमेट इवेंट्स की प्लानिंग नहीं है, तो क्यों तो गवर्नेंस का फायदा क्या है सिटीजंस के लिए? संजीव जी,
800 mm बारिश की संभावना है पूरे मानसून में होती है. उसमें से यदि 228 mm यदि 24 घंटे के अंदर हो जाए तो कोई भी सरकार कुछ नहीं कर सकती है. ये
कोई भी सरकार कुछ नहीं कर सकती है।
ग्लोबल वार्मिंग का
आपने तैयारी क्या की? चलिए ये बताइए, आपने तैयारी क्या की? संजीव जी ये बताइए, कौन सा सुएज का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बनाया 10 साल के अंदर, ये तो बता दीजिए।
किसी भी स्टेट के बूते में ये नहीं है।
बहुत अच्छी बात है, बहुत अच्छी बात है, आपकी बात मान लेते हैं संजीव जी। हमें ये बताइए सुएज का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर क्या किया है आप गवर्नमेंट ने? कौन सा रेवोल्यूशनरी सुएज इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इंट्रोड्यूस किया दिल्ली में? बताइए क्या काम हुआ है?
मैं तो वही कह रहा हूँ कि 713 जो 4 फीट से ज्यादा की जो जितने भी नालियां हैं,
नहीं, कितनी बारिश हुई हम सबको पता है। इस सरकार ने पिछले 10 साल में सुएज इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को कितना इंप्रूव किया है, क्या बताया? क्या आप स्पेसिफिक्स बताइए ना, हमें जनता जानना चाह रही है। आप कह रहे हैं कि इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कोलैप्स हो रहा है, आपने किया क्या है काम?
बार बार ये बात हम कितनी बार ये बात समझाएं कि ये केंद्र सरकार जो बैठी हुई है उसको दिल्ली सरकार से वैमनस्यता का भाव कम से कम त्यागना होगा दिल्ली के लोगों के लिए। दिल्ली सरकार से केंद्र सरकार जब तक इस तरह से ये वैमनस्यता का भाव रखेगी, प्रताड़ित करने का काम करेगी, उसके जहन में ये बात रहेगी कि ये सरकार बर्खास्त हो जाए।
Sir, I believe this is whataboutery, but I will not, and I think the central government also has to take a role when it comes to climate change, Sanju Verma, and therefore you must answer this question. He says that in the midst of our governance, the central government and its interventions have been taking place. We've not been allowed to govern. And at the end of the day, climate change is also something that the center looks at. So for the national capital, if we are going to be under deluge in this particular way, somewhere or the other, the center also has to take responsibility. Primarily, it may be the state government, but the center also has a role to play.
You know, Madhav, I stay in Mumbai, where every year, in a single day, last time in July, in a single day, एक दिन में there was 944 mm of rainfall in Mumbai and Greater Mumbai. That is equal to the amount of rainfall that Singapore gets in 4 years. Because लोग कहते हैं ना, हम इसको सिंगापुर बना देंगे, इटली बना देंगे, फलाना बना देंगे, लंदन बना देंगे. I just have this to say. You know, Vimlendu Jha is an expert. He will talk about climate change, global warming, the La Nina and El Nino effect, what have you. I just have this to say. Water, sanitation, PWD, health, these are under the aegis of Aam Aadmi Party, not under the LG, not under the Modi government. You ask me tough questions and I tell you, yes, governments need to be accountable, governments need to be transparent, governments need to be asked tough questions by the citizens and by the media. But I want to ask you, Madhav, 2016 में dengue हुआ था, Arvind Kejriwal was getting his throat infection treated at the Jindal Nature Care Clinic in Bengaluru. 2020, at the height of COVID, thank God for Narendra Modi and Amit Shah, bodies were piling up at Nigambodh Ghat and Arvind Kejriwal said, mujhse na ho paega. Last year when Delhi was submerged under floods, Saurabh Bhardwaj and Atishi, who between themselves have more than 12 portfolios to look after, they said, humse na ho paega. Matlab parali ka issue ho, आप पहले पंजाब को ब्लेम करते थे, now you can't blame Punjab because they're Bhagwant Mann of the Aam Aadmi Party.
So any issue of crisis, there's a diversion that happens or a dereliction of responsibility. Sanju Verma's charge. Respond to that. Akashdeep Puni, respond to that.
You know one thing, Madhav, it is very atrocious that today Sanju Verma ji, who is a respected spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party, did not once speak about the deceased who lost his life because of the pure bad governance of the party to which Sanju Verma ji belongs. इतना बुरा गवर्नेंस करते हैं कि एक इनोसेंट का जान चले जाता है और उसको मिलने नहीं जाता है.
Akashdeep Puni ji, one second. Akashdeep Puni ji, for your information, the total deaths in Delhi today are 8. There is one at the airport for sure. You are factually right. But what about the 7 others who lost their lives in other parts of Delhi, Akashdeep Puni?
Sir, 7 others did not lose their life. They were affected by floods first.
Oh, they did not lose their lives. What are you saying? What are you saying? What is the information, Akashdeep Puni?
No, what are you saying? Are you saying that
they are affected by floods? People have lost their lives. What kind of a callous statement are you making on national television?
No, I am not making any callous statement. I don't have information.
They have not died. They are affected by floods. What kind of a statement is that?
Sir,
please apologize on national television. This is
why I should apologize on national television?
You are saying they are affected by floods. They have not died.
अरे भाई मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि ना कि मुझे इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है उस पे।
आप तो ये बोलिए आपके पास इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं है, ये बोलिए आपके पास इन्फॉर्मेशन
मैं कुछ और बोल रहा हूँ, आप मेरे ऊपर
नहीं आपने आपका नो, आई एम वेरी सॉरी मिस्टर मुनी, यू साउंडेड एक्सट्रीमली insensitive at that point of time. But I will ask Sanju Verma a simple question. Sanju Verma, whether it's the NDMC areas where the MPs, MLAs, ministers stay, which have been completely inundated, which is under the NDMC, whether it's the Pragati Maidan tunnel, which again was built recently by the central government, even the central government projects have been completely found wanting. So the centre has to take responsibility for its actions. What has the centre done?
Madhav, I will not shove, the accountability factor under the carpet. The central government needs to, do a lot more. But let's be very clear. यहाँ पर T1 terminal का roof collapse हो गया and one person is dead. My deepest condolences to his family and to his kith and kin. But let me just say this because I think facts are very important and facts cannot be compromised in the din of noise. The Delhi International Indira Gandhi Airport is a consortium where GMR has the highest stake. It has a stake of 50.1%, 50.1%. Germany's Frappo AG has a 10% stake. Malaysia Airports another 10%. India Development Fund 3.9%, and the Airport Authority of India has a 26% stake. So the first point that I want to make is that GMR, by virtue of being the single largest shareholder, is the operator and owner of the Delhi International Airport, and GMR is also singularly responsible for maintenance. So while the opposition can train its guns on the Modi government, the guns need to be trained on GMR, and the Modi government.
No. Sanju Verma, Airports Authority is a stakeholder, and the Ministry of Civil Aviation has full supervisory powers, not just in terms of the Airports Authority of India, which manages the traffic, but also the DGCA, which controls. There are several. No, I'm sorry. The ministry cannot shirk away from its responsibility. The minister may have gone early in the morning. That's fine. But at the end of the day, if something's happened at the airport, the ministry will have to account for it. That's how the system works. But I'm going to bring in Kapil Madan very quickly on one point. Okay, Sanju, respond. Respond to what I just said.
The government will crack the whip. But please ask Akashdeep Muni. Arvind Kejriwal says, I'm running the government from Tihar and Delhi submerged under floods. Atish is doing a nautanki, saying mera ketone level upar chale gaya, mera blood pressure niche aa gaya.
You know, I just want to bring in at this point of time, citizens are incensed. They've been inconvenienced. They've spent hours on the road in traffic jams. They've been waterlogged. Many people have not stepped out of their homes today. That's the kind of situation in the national capital region. And Bijon Mishra, I want you to come in. Because at the end of the day, I mean, I said this earlier in the debate, you know, it doesn't matter whether it's the BJP, the Congress. You know, can we have airports where canopies don't fall on us and kill us? Can we have roads where we don't, vehicles don't fall in or float into underpasses? You know, what kind of cities are we living in? What kind of urban planning takes place? It pretty much remains the same. Minto Road underpass, and you've seen it in Delhi, has been the same situation year after year for decades. And yet nothing changes, whichever government comes. Bijon Mishra.
Madhav, the most important point is that we all pay taxes. Whether a passenger flies, he pays taxes to the airport handler. We pay very regularly the taxes of municipal services. And if we default in not making payment on time, or if we don't make the payment, we are penalized. And we are penalized so heavily that nobody wants to listen to us. And these people, they keep blaming each other and they make all issues political, but never become accountable to the citizens who are paying the money for all their luxuries and amenities and for all their salaries every month after month. And nobody comes out saying, okay, I take onus and I resign, or I make sure that I don't take this salary which I don't deserve.
Well, I think that's a very tall ask of today, because today I think the fact is that politicians all across perhaps are brazening it out, and I think that's pretty much become the yardstick, unfortunately, for public accountability in our times. Kapil Madan, apologize for not being able to come up to you because we're completely out of time. But Sanju Verma, Dr. Akashdeep Muni, Sanjeev Kaushik, Vimlendu Jha, Bijon Mishra and Kapil, thanks so much for joining us this evening.